for Movie Month. It is my third annual movie month, in which I will be watching 30 movies in 30 days, and I'll either hate them or give them praise. Day 10, everybody, and I am now officially 1/3 of the way done with 2016 FNE Movie Month. And today's movie scared me, made me nervous, anxious, had me pump my fist a couple times, and ultimately left me very satisfied. That's because today's movie was the 2016 horror film or horror thriller, but I would classify it more as a horror film, Hush. This movie was on Netflix, and I actually discovered it because my brother emailed me and told me to watch it and told me it was really good. It's a little movie. There was only 5 people in the movie. The writer-director is Mike Flanagan, who's interesting because I just recently saw an article that this guy might be tapped for the new Halloween. So maybe this is an up-and-coming name in horror. And actually, he co-wrote it with his wife, and his wife is the star of the film. So what's this film about? Only 5 people are in it. What's it called? Hush, as I said. So basically, there is this woman who is a writer who is deaf, and she lives kind of in a secluded area in the woods. It's not a cabin, it's a house, but it's like a house in the mountains, you'd say. And she, has a cat, has a couple friends, connects with her family through the computer, through chatting or through sign language, through FaceTime. But she's all alone out there, and there's a killer out there, and the killer discovers that she's deaf and knows that he can kind of creep around. And that, to me, was the most... Oh, I'm dying. Oh, if I had the time, I'd edit that out. But this is real. This is organic. Whatever happens, happens. The most nervous part... Well, you're watching the beginning, and you're seeing this nice woman who is... a writer who is, talking to her sister, talking to a friend. She's trying to learn how to cook. And I'm sitting there going, but I know what's going to happen. I know there's a scary man that's coming. And you try to, say, this is nice. She's got a nice life. But then I'm thinking, oh, man, I'm like, this hasn't even really started yet. And all of a sudden, while she's cooking, the friend that was visiting her runs up and slams up against the door. And he's pleading for help, and she seems to be bleeding. And then she gets shot by an arrow. And then, boom, all of a sudden, this masked man comes up behind her and just stabs the crap out of her. All while this woman is cooking, and she can't hear a thing, and she doesn't turn, and she misses the whole thing. And the killer, while this woman's dying right in front of him, because he killed her, is just kind of staring at the inside and realizing this woman's not reacting at all. And taps on the glass and realizes she's not reacting at all, and he realizes that she is deaf. So he just starts creeping around the house, and so that she can't see him, but we see him, and we know that she can't hear him. And that was the most, that's the thing that freaked me out the most. And then he kind of slowly came into the room and took her phone and walked away, and he started messaging her computer with pictures of herself. So all of a sudden she's getting a message, and she sees herself, sitting there doing what she's doing, or walking around the house, and she realizes, there's somebody out there. And I thought they were going to make this linger a lot longer. And please, I go on Netflix now and check it out. I'm going to spoil it, or at least some of it. So if anything I say, you've been warned. But at that moment, she realized, she left her door open for her cat to come back, and she realizes someone's taking pictures, and she just looks up, and she sees the door is wide open. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that door seems so far away. And she gets up and she slowly starts creeping around the corner. And the camera just kind of turns with it, with her. So we're seeing what she would be seeing. And there's the guy just standing there holding her phone. And then it's a race to the door. She gets there, she locks it. Don't worry, don't worry. Um, it's weird because the creepiness level went down a little bit because at some point, and again, I'm spoiling it. Um, she takes lipstick and she writes on the thing, "I don't know, I won't tell. Please leave. I haven't seen, she doesn't know that her friend's been killed at this point. She just thinks there's some, dude creeping her out. I didn't see your face. Please go. My boyfriend's coming. And that's all bull. Or if you're watching, it's bull. And now that I spoiled it for you, it's bull. And he reads it and he looks, and then he just takes his mask off. The mask is gone. It was a creepy kind of mask, like this just really plain white mask. I think anytime you see a creepy white mask like that, it all goes back to Michael Myers, the best mask ever. Um, and now you see his face, and he just looks like some dude, some kind of redneck dude. And I have to remind myself now that it's not Herc from Friday Night Lights. It's a whole different guy. And this guy actually turned out to be really good. So the creepiness level went down when the mask was gone, but the kind of scare stayed with it because now you just see this dude. He's just a dude who wants to kill you, and he's like, "You could read my lips, right?" He's like, "I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna get you." I mean, he didn't say it exactly like that. The guy who played the character's name is Man. That's it, just Man. His name is John Gallagher Jr., and he's in another movie that I hope to see this month. I hopefully will see it. It's on my list, but it's not for rent on any of the streaming places right now, and I do not want to pay $15 to own this movie. Um, but this guy actually turned out to be kind of charismatic in a real psychopath kind of way. At one point, he has to pretend that he's a cop, and like he makes it a little believable, and you're like, this guy, and you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, this guy's nutso." Did a really nice job. Kind of the only other three people we saw in it is the neighbors, the boyfriend and the girlfriend. And we know what happened to the girlfriend. And if you've seen the movie, you know what happens or what goes on with the boyfriend. And then the sister, who was only on FaceTime. That was it. There was a scene where the woman's life is flashing before her eyes, the main character, and she sees pictures. And it's kind of cool because if you pause it, you realize these are not pictures made for this movie. These are real pictures of her and her family growing up. And then later they show a picture of her and the actor who plays her sister. Um, but overall, I just want to say thank you to my brother Sean for recommending this movie for me. I recommend it to you. I think you should check it out. It's on Netflix. It's like under an hour and a half. I think it was 85 minutes or something like that, or 87, 89 minutes. Um, and I didn't get started till well after 8. At one point I had to pause it and just be like, okay, let me check the Red Sox score. I need to go kind of I need to look away for a second because I was getting too amped up. Um, and I watch TV in my living room sometimes with headphones on so I can hear it and I don't disturb anybody. And I'm sure my wife heard me go, "Oh, oh, don't go up there. Oh, what are you doing? No." Uh, um, because they did a nice job, the director did a nice job of keeping these angles so that it's that whole classic thing of the character, the star of the movie can't see everything around her, but we can, so we can see the different angles and we can see where he's coming from. Um, but it's even worse because he can make a loud noise and she wouldn't even notice it. Um, just overall, this guy's made another movie called Oculus, which I think is a WWE movie, which is one of the few that I heard got actual good reviews. So I'm guessing this guy is just a young, because I think WWE takes these young directors, and basically they make movies with their wrestlers, and they get these young guys trying to make a name for themselves. Um, and this guy, he's directed a couple things: Absentia, Oculus, Hush. Those are the last three things it looks like he's directed. He's directed, it says he has 14 credits. Some of these, I'm sure, are, um, smaller things that are maybe real. I mean, I say smaller things. This is a real independent movie too. Um, he's got another movie coming out called Before I Wake. That says 2016 too. So and that looks, it's got a spooky looking um, poster. And the untitled Halloween sequel. That's the thing. He getting now? I wonder if it's going to be a Halloween sequel or if it's going to be a Halloween reboot. Is it the Rob Zombie Halloweens? Who knows? But hopefully we see a lot of good things coming from this guy and from the actress too. I thought she was really good, and she was deaf and mute, so she didn't speak. The character did not speak at all. I mean, I say that, but there's a scene, and it makes sense when it happens. But in the actuality, the actual character did not speak, and basically, a lot of this movie, you don't hear anything. The guy who talks the most is the killer, and that's creepy. So if you want to get scared, I would watch this at night with the lights off, and it was by the time I got started, it was just about getting dark. So it was dark enough, and I think that's the only way to really watch a horror movie. If I watched this in the morning, it wouldn't have had the same effect. Oh, a big yawn. It wouldn't have the same effect. So I'm glad I watched it at night. Um, it's funny. I recommended this to someone at work. So next time I talk to them, I want to see what she thought of it. She was supposed to be going out with some friends or getting together with some friends. They were going to rent a horror movie, and this was the first thing that popped in my mind because my brother recommended it to me, and I put it on my list. And now I've watched it, and I'm 10 movies in, 20 movies left to go. And what are you talking about, 20 movies? Well, if you don't already know, my name is Mike. This is FNE Movie Month, Fans Not Experts Movie Month. You can find me on Twitter at Geek Mentality. You can find the website on Twitter at Fans Not Experts. The website is fansnotexperts.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/fansnotexperts. And all of that uses the hashtag FNE Movie Month. Every episode gets posted up on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/FNE Movie Month. And of course, you don't even have to go to SoundCloud. You don't have to go to Facebook. You don't have to go to Twitter. I'd love you to go to Facebook and like the page. We don't have a lot of likes. I don't even think I sent it to every of my friends on Facebook because, I don't want to bother these people. I sent it to people that I think would like it. I've only got 32 likes on Facebook. So if you're a stranger out there and you would like to like me on Facebook, I would like if you like to like me on Facebook. Fans Not Experts. And Twitter Geek Mentality and Fans Not Experts, all that stuff. But all roads lead back to fansnotexperts.com. That's where you'll find everything. That's where you find every episode of FNE Movie Month, this June special. This is the first year we do podcasts. The last 2 years, I did it just as blog posts. And sometimes it's just easier to talk than type. Of course, all the work that now I have to take this and put it up online is a little harder. But hey, the stuff we do for our art, right? We also have 2 other podcasts on the network, the website, whatever you want to call it. If you're into fake men fighting, there's a podcast called WrestleMania. And if you're into Corey and Topanga, there's a podcast called Man Meets World. You can find all these things on iTunes. We have a YouTube channel. There's basically, if you just search Fans Not Experts, there's no way you won't find us. And when I say us, it's really mostly me and a lot of my cousin. There's a couple blog posts because I was, I wanted to do sports, and I've really kind of veered off on sports. But if you like Boston sports, that's the only thing we'll really talk about. Except for one weird day when I posted something about Jeff Fisher, which just It just surprised me that he still has a job. I'm really going off on a tangent right now. This has nothing to do with movie month, but this podcast has everything to do with movie month. So check us out and go on Netflix right now and watch Hush. I'm sorry if I spoiled it for you. I hope I didn't. Very enjoyable. That's it. Play my music.
This is my podcast, I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome, my mom says. Please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans not experts.